get this. Tomorrow I'll be teaching another topic of ethics. And one of the major themes of the lesson for tomorrow is embedded in the quote of Socrates that goes, "The unexamined life is not worth living." You know, it's such a weird thing that it's such a, alam, parang sobrang simple lang. Ang simple lang yan na quote, na line, but it holds a, parang, I mean, what am I saying? Get this. Imagine, you're already graduating and then, you land on your job, you earn good money, and then after a few years, you wake up feeling hollow. Is that scary? Isn't it like, nakakatakot, like, what the fuck? So, and then you can't quite explain why, right? And not explaining why. You've never paused to ask, like, why am I doing this? What does it really matter? Does my life really matter? All of those, kind of shenanigans and whatnot. And then it'll be kind of scary, right? Sobrang nakakatakot yun in such a way na parang all your life you've been studying and then you've been earning and then biglang wala na pala. Ganun. Does it mean anything? Ganun. And in our daily routines, are we conscious of how we spend our time? Look, the whole Sunday today, I didn't do anything. Like last night, I was in a gig. Tapos na yung gig. Natapos kami ng 2:00. Tapos nagtatulog na ako ng 3:00 after showering. And then I woke up super late, like around 11 a.m. And then I fell asleep again, like around hanggang 4 p.m. na yun. And then I was just staring at this, like in the abysmal plane of existence. And I kept on like wondering, when was the last time I truly reflected on what I really want? I mean, it's kind of hard to think. It's so difficult to have these thoughts at the age of 26. Like it's really like now the quarter life crisis that they're trying to say. And it's funny how all of our choices would lead to, all of it has its own consequences of some sort. Like if hindi natin ginawa yun, if hindi natin, let's say for example, if we didn't post something, what would happen? Something like that. I always keep on remembering things, like parang when I talk to my friends, especially to the closest friends I have, or the new friends that I have na sobrang close na namin biglaan. I always tell them na parang, can you imagine if we didn't meet? Or like, can you imagine if you didn't come into my life? Or wala ka sa buhay ko, ganun. I keep on, examining myself now more than like in the past years, because I had no avenue or I had no time to examine myself. And I guess even if sobrang mundane, even if wala akong like jowa ngayon, or like I was heartbroken last year, I had many ideations of suicidal tendencies, and still I'm here, kind of like, what the fuck? But you get the point, right? I'm just yapping. I don't even know if someone would watch this, but the whole idea of this like ordeal of whatsoever of realizations is that the unexamined life is not worth living. That's such a simple yet impactful quote. Guess it's really, alam mo yun, parang basta. I guess the whole point is, don't just go through life, because that sucks, right? You have to think through life, even if it's so demanding. You ask who you are, what you're doing, what's your purpose here in this world and whatnot, because otherwise you're not truly living, you're just existing, and existence is pain, diba? Sabi nga ni Mr. Misi. Basta the whole point is, self-awareness is very important. Totoo, pangit maging delulu, right? But self-awareness is very important. And of course, when we don't have reflections on our lives, we tend to always have moral catastrophes or ethical failures. Yun yung buong point ng lesson ko bukas eh. And the idea stems out from this notion that comfort and routines, they are not enough, because otherwise you would just be on a slump, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Basta if you are having an existential crisis, mga oras na ganito, okay lang yan. At least you're thinking and you're not just merely existing, diba? To quote Rene Descartes, sabi nga po niya, I think, therefore I am. Good luck sa'yo. Sana, you get me.